Hello, Saints. This is Father Pete with a quick message for you about St. Patrick's and the message I shared at our common meal last Sunday evening about a future home for St. Patrick's. So on May 11th, your Vestry met for a half-day retreat, and we addressed the question of, is it time for us to begin to explore the possibility of a permanent home for St. Patrick's? And we came away from the meeting saying, yes, it's time to begin that journey. And there's a couple reasons why that seemed clear to us. I'm sure there are more than this, but one is we've been at Apostles for 5.5 years. It's hard to believe it's been that long. We're not being asked to leave. We can stay there. It's been an awesome place for us to be. But, at some point we're going to have to move out of mom and dad's basement and find our own place. And it just seems like, given some other factors, this is a good time to begin the process of exploring that. Second, we've grown. We're a church of roughly 180. That includes all ages. And if you're our regular attender on Sundays, you know that we're filling up the sanctuary. And of course, we're filling up space for kids. And so, at some point, we're going to want to have our own space that we can sort of design and use for ourselves. And that, the fact that we're bumping up against those limits is a signal. It's probably time to think about that. And then we're doing good financially. We've really grown in our area of stewardship. Still have some growth to go there, and we'll be working that as a parish, obviously. It's an ongoing discipleship question for all of us. But financially, we're doing well. And so we're in a pretty stable place that way. We're stable in terms of our ministry. So many of you serve and volunteer. We're able to address the needs of our kids. And that doesn't mean there aren't growing pains and things we need to keep working on, but we're doing well all the way around. So it just seems right to us that we're at this place where we can say, okay, it's time to start looking. So, or exploring is probably a better way to say it. So what are the next steps? Well, the next step isn't go find a building. This is a long process. This could be a multi-year process. Maybe not that long. We'll just have to see how it unfolds. But the next step I'm asking everyone to do is to pray. And I'm asking if you would add to your daily prayers a prayer to the Lord that says, Lord, show us what you want and give us the resources. And for us to really look to God to lead us and God to provide for us. And I think part of what that means is he'll want to stretch us. So it's natural to start with, well, what can we do? I don't think that's where God wants us to start with. He's going to want us to start with what he wants us to do. That leads to the second step. And that's a process of discernment together. Our retreat as a vestry was our time of discernment, but that needs to expand to the whole parish. So in the coming weeks, probably, early June, you will receive a survey, and it will mirror the kind of process we went through in our meeting to answer the question, hey, if God provided us the resources to have a building of our own, what would be the priorities of what should be in that building? So we went through and listed that, and then each of us kind of picked the two non-negotiables. And I have a sense that probably we're pretty in alignment with the rest of you, but we need to do this together and discern together. And that's really out of that, then we can begin to have a vision for where we're going. And then out of that vision, make a plan to get there. And I don't think we have any idea what that's going to mean yet. Is it going to mean finding a place to lease long-term? Is it going to mean raising money to buy an existing facility, whether it's a church building or something we can remodel? Does it mean buying land and building a building? It could mean all those things. And all those things are probably bigger than all of us can initially on our own think we can do. But I think the Lord wants to invite us to trust him. Now, I'm not claiming that God spoke to us through direct revelation and said, it's time to build, we're going to do X, Y, Z. That's not what's going on here. But I don't want this just to be something we do. We want to lean into God. We want to trust God. We want to follow God. And his method usually is one step at a time. You don't usually have it all just perfectly set up from start to finish and go execute it. You kind of know the next right step and you move toward that. So we know the end goal would be a long-term home for St. Patrick's. And we know where we're starting. And then as we keep stepping out, we'll begin to etch in that map and that roadmap and follow that out together. You probably have questions. Feel free to reach out to me with any question, but also you can reach out to any of our Vestry members. That's Andy Olson, Laura Carr, John Gould, Megan Sprinkle, Kimberly Anderson, Michael Rundell, and Wes Custer. And you have a parish directory. You can call them, text them, email them, or me as well. And any of us would be glad to answer any questions or just hear from you, kind of what's in your heart. So thanks for taking time to listen to this, and God bless.